Morning crept in through thin curtains. The house smelled like dust and leftover pine. Lan sat on the floor beside the cold fireplace. 5 days since they left for Aspen. 5 days since anyone said her name aloud. Empty cups and unopened gifts cluttered the room. The silence felt heavier than the snow outside. She turned on the TV for noise, then turned it off. Every channel showed families laughing under lights. She whispered lines of their laughter to fill the air. Bo wagged his tail once, then curled beside her. His warmth was the only real thing left. Lan pulled the family photo from the mantel. She traced her mother's smile with a finger. Her father's hand rested on another woman's shoulder now. The photo felt like a lie she kept pretending to believe. A thump came from the mailbox outside. Lan ran barefoot through the chill to check. A stack of envelopes spilled out, one glossy postcard on top. A ski resort, white slopes, blue sky, 4 happy faces. Her father, Mai, and Vi smiling, bundled, glowing. No empty space for her anywhere. Her breath fogged the glossy surface as she stared. Something cracked quietly inside her chest. She dropped the card and closed the door too fast. Bo barked once, confused by the sudden movement. Lan sank to her knees, the world spinning too slow. She wanted to scream, but the sound never came. The clock ticked like it was mocking her. The phone rang once, then stopped. She let it. No one ever called twice. That night, the power flickered with the wind. Lan lit a candle and whispered to the flame. "Mom, if you can hear me, tell me what to do." The flame bent like it wanted to answer. Tears slid down, hot and silent. She hated herself for crying again. "Big girls don't cry," she repeated like a prayer. But she was still just a child waiting for someone to remember her. Hours later, headlights swept across the wall. Her heart jumped. She ran to the window. Not them. Just the neighbor's car. She bit her lip until she tasted blood. In the mirror's reflection, she looked like a ghost. Small. Forgotten. Unwanted. The doorbell broke the stillness. Lan froze. Then a voice called through the cold air. "Lan, sweetheart, it's Aunt Han." The door opened to warmth and chaos. Han dropped to her knees, gathering Lan close. Her coat smelled like cinnamon and rain. "How long have you been alone?" she demanded. "Since Christmas Eve," Lan whispered. Han's eyes darkened with fury. She pulled out her phone, fingers shaking. "Your father will hear about this," she said. TH letter 1EA30 appeared behind her, eyes wide with disbelief. Together, they held Lan like she might break apart. Lan finally let go and sobbed into her aunt's shoulder. Outside, snow kept falling. Inside, for the first time in days, someone stayed. The front door slammed 3 days later. They were back. Suitcases clattered across the floor like thunder. Lan stood at the stairs, hands twisting in her sleeves. Her father barely looked up. Mai brushed snow from her perfect coat. Vi scrolled on her phone, pretending not to see her. "See, everything's fine," Mai said too sweetly. "Oliver's sorry Bo's still alive." Lan nodded, her throat dry. Her father patted her shoulder once. "We brought you something," he said. A plastic snow globe. Inside, a tiny skier spun in endless circles. Lan forced a smile she didn't feel. It was supposed to mean love, but it felt like guilt. Dinner was quiet that night. Mai complained about the cold. Vi laughed about a boy from the resort. Lan washed the dishes while they talked. No one asked about her Christmas. No one noticed when she cut her hand on a glass. Blood mixed with soapy water, disappearing fast. Later, Mai handed her a list. "Chores," she said simply. "Since you're not busy." Lan stared at the paper covered in neat handwriting. "Clean the bathrooms. Vacuum the stairs. Wash everyone's laundry." "Vi has school," Mai added. "You have more time." Her father said nothing. He only adjusted his watch and walked away. By the end of the week, Lan's hands were raw. She folded Vi's clothes, ironed Mai's dresses. Sometimes she talked to her mother's picture in whispers. "Do you see this? Is this what family means?" One afternoon, she noticed the living room shelves. Empty. All the photo frames were gone. The ones of her mother, smiling by the ocean. The wedding pictures. Even the baby photos. Panic gripped her as she searched every drawer. Then she found them, stacked under old newspapers in her father's desk. Her mother's face buried beneath tax forms and dust. Lan sank to the floor, holding one photo tight. Her mother's arms wrapped around her younger self. Both laughing, eyes full of light. Tears blurred the image until it shimmered. Mai's voice echoed from the hallway. "Lan, have you finished folding the towels?" Lan hid the photo under her shirt. "Yes," she whispered. She slipped back to her room and locked the door. The house outside buzzed with false cheer. Mai's perfume lingered like poison in the air. Vi's laughter drifted down the hall, sharp and hollow. Lan slid the photo into an old book on her shelf. She pressed her palm over the cover. "This one's mine," she told the silence. "They can't take this." Her chest hurt with the weight of holding on. Downstairs, someone turned up the music. Laughter again, distant and bright. Lan stared at the wall, breathing slow. For the first time, she understood. Sometimes love doesn't disappear all at once. Sometimes it fades quietly, until you're the only one who remembers it ever existed. 8 years later, the house looked the same. Only smaller. Lan was 17 now, taller but quieter. Mai still ruled the rooms like a queen. Vi slept until noon, then complained about everything. Her father hid in his study, behind a closed door. Lan's alarm rang before sunrise each day. Laundry. Dishes. Floors. Her list never ended. School felt like the only place she could breathe. But even there, she kept her head down. "Don't draw attention," Mai always said. "Good girls stay quiet." Lan learned how to disappear in plain sight. One Sunday, her phone buzzed. A message from TH letter 1EA30. "You missed lunch. Everything okay?" Lan wiped soap from her hands. "Busy," she typed. Then another message came. "Busy with chores again." Lan stared at the screen too long. Finally, she called. Her voice cracked. "I'm fine," she lied. "No, you're not," TH letter 1EA30 said softly. "You've been fine for 8 years. That's too long." Lan sat on the kitchen floor, back against the cabinet. "Mai says family means doing your part." "Family doesn't mean servitude," TH letter 1EA30 replied. "Come over tomorrow. I want to show you something." Lan hesitated. "Mai won't let me." "Then don't ask." The line went quiet except for their breathing. "Okay," Lan whispered. The next day she walked across town after school. TH letter 1EA3, OS house, smelled like cinnamon and laughter. On the floor, stacks of college brochures waited. TH letter 1EA30 grinned. "You've got the grades, the essays, the brains. You can get out." Lan shook her head. "Mai says college is expensive and pointless." TH letter 1EA3, grabbed her hands. "Stop quoting Mai. What do you want?" Lan froze. No one had asked her that in years. She picked up a brochure, Washington State University. Green lawns, brick buildings, sunlight. It looked like freedom, printed on glossy paper. "I want more than this," she said quietly. TH letter 1EA30 smiled like she already knew. "Then let's make it happen." That night, Lan hid in her room filling out applications. Her hands trembled over each form. She wrote her mother's name in the emergency contact line. It felt wrong but also right. Outside her door, Mai argued with her father about dinner plans. Vi laughed at something on TV. The world spun the same, but Lan felt it shifting. Her phone buzzed again. Aunt Han's message glowed on the screen. "Proud of you. Will help with scholarships." Lan stared at it until tears blurred the letters. For the first time, her tears didn't burn. They washed something clean inside her. She turned off the light, heart pounding in quiet hope. Downstairs, Mai's voice carried through the house. "Lan, did you finish the laundry?" Lan smiled in the dark. "Not yet," she whispered to herself. "Not anymore." The clock ticked softly, counting down to something new. Rain tapped against the kitchen window. Mai sat at the table with her planner open. Lan stood in the doorway, clutching her backpack. "I can't clean today," she said. Her voice trembled but didn't break. Mai didn't look up. "Excuse me." "I joined a study group. We meet every Tuesday." Mai's pen froze midline. "Since when do you have time for that?" "Since now." Vi snorted from the couch, eyes on her phone. "Study group, sounds fake." Lan ignored her. She adjusted the strap on her shoulder. "I'll do the cleaning tomorrow." Mai's tone turned cold. "Your father won't approve of this attitude." "Then ask him," Lan said softly. Her father appeared in the doorway, tired and distant. "Life isn't fair, Lan," he said. "Sometimes, we just have to do what's needed." Lan met his eyes. "I know, that's why I'm doing this." He sighed, already retreating to his study. Mai's lips thinned into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Don't test my patience, young lady." Lan walked out before she could answer. Rain hit her face, sharp and freeing. Each drop felt like permission. At the library, TH letter 1EA30 waved from a corner table. "You came," she said, grinning. Lan smiled back for real this time. They spent hours filling out essays and forms. Lan wrote about resilience, loss, and survival. When she finished, her hands ached but her heart felt light. Weeks passed. Mai added more chores, more criticism. Lan did them without complaint, saving her strength. At night she studied under the covers, flashlight trembling. Her grades climbed higher. Her teachers noticed. One afternoon, Mrs. Chen handed her a paper. A bright red A+ bled across the top. "This shows promise," the teacher said. "You should submit it to the state essay contest." Lan held the paper like proof she wasn't invisible. When she got home, Mai was waiting. "Where were you?" "Library," Lan said. "For school." Mai frowned. "You think grades will matter when you can't even fold a shirt properly." Lan didn't answer. Her silence was armor now. That night she received an email. Subject line, "Congratulations." She read it twice before believing. Full academic scholarship. The words glowed on the screen like fire. Her breath caught. She wanted to scream, laugh, cry all at once. Instead she whispered, "Thank you, Mom." The next morning, she slipped the letter under her pillow. Mai called from downstairs, demanding help with breakfast. Lan folded the blanket neatly. Soon, she thought. Just a little longer. At school, TH letter 1EA30 hugged her tight. "You did it." Lan smiled, tears in her eyes. "Not yet," she said. "But I'm close." That night, as rain softened to silence, she looked in the mirror. For the first time, she saw something fierce staring back. Not fear. Not defeat. A quiet fire waiting to rise. Morning light poured through the dining room window. The clock ticked towards 7:30. Lan set the table carefully, hands steady. Her folder sat beside her plate, edges sharp and ready. Mai scrolled on her phone, sipping coffee. Vi yawned, still half asleep. Her father adjusted his tie, pretending calm. Lan took a deep breath. "I received my college acceptance letters," she said. Silence fell. Mai's knife scraped against her toast. Her father froze mid-sip. Only Vi kept scrolling. Lan opened the folder. The papers gleamed like small victories. Full academic scholarship to Northwestern, she said. They liked my essay about resilience. Her father blinked. Pride flickered across his face, then shame. Mai's lips pressed tight. College teaches theory, not real life, she said. Vi smirked. Anyone can get in if they have nothing else to do. Lan smiled faintly. Some of us plan for more than that. Mai's voice sharpened. I hope you remember who fed you while you studied. Her father cleared his throat. This is unexpected, but good, very good. He reached for the letter, but Lan pulled it back. I'll keep it safe, she said. The room felt smaller. Mai's perfume thickened the air. Vi rolled her eyes, muttering under her breath. Lan stood up, calm and unshaken. I move into the dorms next month. Mai's chair scraped across the floor. You still have chores to finish before you go, she snapped. The guest bathroom, the pantry. No, Lan said. Her voice was low but final. Mai stared, speechless. I said no, Lan repeated. I'm not your maid anymore. Vi laughed. Drama queen, you've been living here rent-free. Lan's laugh came sharp and clear. Like you, at 20 and still living off Dad. Vi's smile vanished. Her father stood, flustered. Lan, please, don't make this harder. Lan turned toward him. I didn't, you did, every time you looked away. He said nothing. The silence told her everything. She lifted her folder and her bag. I've packed already, she said. Mai folded her arms. You'll regret this. Maybe, Lan answered. But I'll regret staying more. She climbed the stairs for the last time. Her room was half empty, walls bare. She took the photo of her mother from under the loose floorboard. It still smelled faintly of salt and sunlight. Her heart hurt, but not with fear. With freedom. Outside, a car horn honked. TH letter 1EA3. OS voice echoed faintly from the driveway. Ready, Lan. She smiled through tears. Yeah, I'm ready. As she walked out the front door, the house seemed smaller. The walls whispered their old rules, but she didn't listen. Snow glittered on the steps. Her father watched from the window, unmoving. Lan didn't look back. This time, she was the one leaving. The cafe smelled like burnt coffee and old memories. Lan sat by the window, blazer pressed, hair tied tight. Rain streaked the glass, blurring the city outside. Her phone buzzed with a message from her father. We're here. She looked up. They stood near the counter, older, smaller somehow. Mai's perfect hair showed gray roots. Her father's shoulders curved under invisible weight. They spotted her and approached with forced smiles. Lan, he said softly, almost unsure. You look successful, Mai added, too bright, too fake. Lan gestured to the empty chair. They sat. Steam curled from untouched cups. Small talk came first, brittle and rehearsed. How Portland? How work? No one asked about happiness. Mai twisted her napkin into shreds. It's about Vi, she finally said. Lan didn't blink. Of course it is. She's struggling, her father said. She dropped out, there's debt, 18,000. Lan sipped her coffee, silent. Mai leaned forward, eyes wet. She's your sister, family helps family. Lan's laugh was soft but sharp. When I was 9, you left me alone for 5 days. My smile froze. You were mature for your age. I was a child, Lan said. Her voice stayed calm, every word deliberate. You went skiing while I sat in an empty house with a dog. Her father winced. That was years ago. Yes, Lan said. And you never said sorry. Mai reached across the table. Lan, please, we're trying to make things right. Lan pulled her hand back. No, you're trying to make things easier for yourselves. The cafe noise faded, replaced by her heartbeat. Her father's voice cracked. We're still family. Lan stood. No, we share DNA, not love. She placed a $5 bill beside her cup. For the coffee. Mai's eyes widened, desperate. Lan, wait. Her father reached out, but she stepped away. At the door, she turned once. You taught me something valuable, she said. That blood alone means nothing. The bell chimed as she left. Rain met her face again, cool and clean. Her phone buzzed, another message from her father. Please meet me alone, I'm still your dad. Lan typed slowly, fingers steady. You stopped being my dad the Christmas you left me. She hit send and exhaled. The weight in her chest loosened, piece by piece. Not anger. Not revenge. Peace. For the first time, she felt light. She walked down the street, heels clicking like punctuation. People passed, faces bright under city lights. Her reflection in the glass looked whole. She didn't need their apology anymore. She didn't need them at all. At the next corner, she stopped, smiling faintly. The rain kept falling, but it no longer felt cold. It felt like cleansing. It felt like freedom. Morning sunlight spilled through Lan's apartment window. The city hummed quietly beneath her. On the fridge, her promotion letter gleamed. Marketing manager at 25. Her mother would have been proud. Beside the door hung Beau's old collar, worn but precious. It reminded her how far she had come. Her phone buzzed, a message from Aunt Han. Christmas dinner at 6, don't bring anything but yourself. Lan smiled, typing back a heart. She chose a bottle of wine, then paused. 16 years ago, she watched a car vanish in the snow. Now she was the one driving toward warmth. Laughter spilled from Han's house before she even knocked. TH letter 1EA30 opened the door, dusted with flour. Finally, help me rescue the cookies. Lan laughed, the sound unguarded and real. The air smelled of sugar and belonging. She looked around the room, photos, lights, joy everywhere. Han caught her gaze and winked. My daughter always shows up late. The words wrapped around Lan like a hug. She whispered, half to herself, half to her mother. Family isn't who leaves, it's who stays. Outside, snow began to fall again. This time, she wasn't watching it alone.